goes.
All right, here we are. This is Linda Larson Schlitz here from 3NoFailLifeHabits.com and Perspective Shifting. That's
Yep.
your
That's mine.
organization. Mine is Purpose Driven Recovery Academy. And we are here today. I have a book launch next week, and I promised people that we would be doing uh, just different stuff throughout the week, working up to the book launch next Wednesday. Today, I have one of my favorite people with me, my niece Stephanie Kunkel, and she was a huge inspiration in her writing lab. What did you call it?
Writing camp.
Writing camp,
Mm-hmm.
to help me get focused on doing this book. She really encouraged me to do it, just get her done. So I
Mm-hmm.
did. And I just wanted to bring her on to talk a little bit about the topic that she actually suggested today, which is what's in a name. Because we were talking about her business name,
Mm-hmm.
my business name, and why we named it the thing that we did. And it goes along with the message I want to share today about three no fill habits
Mm-hmm.
and how we get caught up in labels,
Yeah.
in bullying, in calling ourselves not good enough, and you should, and be a ditzy blonde, which is what I named a book, and I'm going to redo that because people think that's awful. Even though, both being ADHD, we get it.
Yeah.
Um, I've left my keys to this hotel in, I've locked myself out already. It's just one of those things. But Stephanie, why don't you talk a little bit about your organization
Yeah.
and why you came up with this title for today's message?
Yeah, so we were talking about what's in a label, and one of the reasons that that's a subject that's important to me is because I work with a lot of neurodivergent people, right? People like yourself who have
Yeah.
ADHD, or autism, or depression. We're at a substance abuse and use conference right now, right? So, from depression to addict to ADHD to autism, we have labels in our
Yep.
society, and it's in one hand it's good because it helps us find each other, right? It helps us to relate to each other. On the other hand, the only label that I see that fits is really human. And I say that
Mm-hmm.
because regardless of ADHD or autism or anything else, we are all just humans. And
Right.
it's kind of something that's been taking hold a lot as we move forward. And what I was telling Linda here is that my generation and younger, we're latching on to the term rebel as a
Yeah.
label because we're pushing back against the idea
Right.
that we have to be labeled, that we have to do things a certain way, that we should do certain things. Where a lot of us are healing, internalized trauma and generational trauma,
Yes.
and kind of doing a lot of that deep work that makes us have to question the labels that we have.
Right. Right.
And yet, how important is something like the name of a business where we tell people what we do, right? So,
Yeah.
purpose driven recovery. Well, I help people get sober and find purpose
Yes.
and find the drive.
Yes.
It's all in the name.
Exactly.
My business name is Perspective Shifting. I help people take their perspective and the way they view things and shift it. It's all in a name. And so the names are important, and that's one of the questions that I thought would be really good to talk about was why you chose the name for the book that you did, because I know we went back and forth on that a lot.
Yes, we did.
And and I know it doesn't exactly spell out what you call the concept of what you talk about in the book, which is the three G's, right?
Right. Right.
So tell me or tell the audience, I guess, a little bit about why you chose three
Three
no
no
fail
fail
life
life
habits.
habits. Well, I'll be totally honest, is that one of the books I read in the last year that was really helpful, and I'll be honest, I really suck at reading and getting through anything, so I might have got through half of it, was Atomic Habits. which is a
Mhm.
great book. I know you've read it too. And I listened to most of it, and trust me, my Audible will be coming out. I can't get into my closet because I have pillows and a mattress and my clothes, so it's going to meet Amazon's criteria for an Audible book. So it will be. I've already had people say, "Oh, I can't read a book. I'm too ADD." So I'm going to do that. But his book was really good, and I listened to it on Audible. Just doing habits, reprogramming, doing one thing at a time. Of course, I've got three no fail life habits, but it does take one thing at a time. And
Mhm.
all I ask is for you to do these three things in the morning to get your day off on the right track.
Yeah.
And the reason it works is because our neurodivergency, where does that come from? We're born with brains that are
Mhm.
differently able.
Yeah.
None of us. And I'm telling you, how many of you have been calling yourself disabled for
Yeah.
years and years and years?
Yep.
Nobody is disabled. We are differently abled. Where do you
Mhm.
think the word disrespect came from? What does that mean? It means that we have no respect. And that's just baloney. That's another word popped in, but I'm not going to say that word. Um, Baloney. We are not disabled. We are differently abled.
Mhm.
And talk about neurodivergent. What does that really mean? We hear that. That's a real new buzzword.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What's that about?
Well, one of the things that I like about the term is if you break it down, it's neuro, brain, right? And then divergent, different. It diverges from the norm. And I like the term because when we talk about neurodivergence, it encompasses all of the different aspects of the way our brain works, from being an addict to being depressed to, you know, having ADHD or autism to having our brains function differently than what has always been considered normal. And I think as a therapist and a counselor, like you would agree, there is no such thing as normal,
No,
right? And
no.
so one of the reasons I like the term is because to me it's very inclusive. It
Right.
helps other people feel like, yeah, I can say I don't think like everybody else. So therefore, I am brain diverse, brain divergent, right? But I think one of the things that you were talking about was your three habits and how there's three habits. And I want to call out for anybody that's listening, the three habits that you talk about are simple enough to be one habit,
Right.
right? And so it's, even though there's three no fail life habits, it's really something that you can incorporate into one ritual that you
Yes.
do every morning,
Absolutely.
and it changes our brain chemistry.
Exactly.
And I think that is something for me as someone who works with differently abled people who have different neurostreams and different ways of thinking that are not always linear from point A to point B. It's something that everybody can do that literally rewires our brain
Yes.
to improve moods, to improve performance, to improve achievement, to improve productivity.
Exactly.
And so it's a powerful tool, and I've been sharing it, and I try to give you credit every time I share it. But it helps people, and it's something again that's so simple and so straightforward that once you hear it, you're like, oh, I can do that. And you can't leave the room after hearing it without it sitting there.
Yes.
Every time you hear the 3G word, any of them, you think of this method. And as I was listening to the opening ceremonies today, and the speaker was talking about gratitude, I was like, oh, she's loving this. She
Yes.
is just loving this.
Yes. Well, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. What are the 3G method, the three habits? It really is here's why I call it a method. Because each one of these things changes your brain chemistry, and my book talks all about Why does gratitude, the very first G, change your brain chemistry? Because when we practice gratitude, if you get up in the morning, and I did a thing on TikTok last week, and this lady thanked me so much because she said, you know, I got up this morning, I was really crabby, I was in a bad mood, and after listening to this, it really brightened my day. Because when you think about what you have compared to what you don't have, the
Right.
glass is half full rather than half empty. We take, oh my God, don't we take a lot for granted?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Do you want
things,
to tell them about toilet paper?
I always talk about toilet paper, and my husband's like, can you talk about something other than toilet paper?
But it's
No.
so powerful. Like,
Isn't
it's
it?
so, you don't think about it. It's something that we have, most of us, right, have day to day. We go to the bathroom, we have toilet paper, right? But at the end of the day, if something happens and that's not there, you're going to be grateful when you
Yes.
have toilet paper again.
Yes. When you think of, and the reason the toilet paper came up was we help homeless people, and that's the first thing was on their list. The
Right.
first year we brought a homeless person in was that they wanted that they couldn't get because the dignity that is taken away from somebody who doesn't have a bathroom to go to the bathroom, they have no place to go, they have no shower, they have no soap, they have no more clothes except what's on their back,
Mm-hmm.
and now they smell like you know what. Either
Right.
one of those bodily functions.
Well,
Now you have nobody that wants to hang around with you because you stink. It takes away your dignity, your
right.
socialization. And so that's the first thing. And I'll tell you what, if we ever ran out of toilet paper and they realize, well, they're going to the gas station, they're stealing the
Mm-hmm.
toilet paper, and then they hide it under their beds. And we were just astounded. And then COVID came.
Yeah, I was going to
How
bring that
many of
up.
you during COVID
First
were
thing.
running to the stores and buying out the toilet paper? And then they started to limit how many
Mm-hmm.
things of toilet paper you could buy because I challenge you the next time you go number 2, think about it. Think about it and
Right.
say thank you God. I say
Mm-hmm.
thank you God. You thank whoever you want. Maybe it's your spouse that went and bought it. But where did it come from? It came
Right.
from the trees that your spouse did not plant.
Right.
So it's a bigger picture. So when you can be grateful for something, it kicks off dopamine
Mm-hmm.
and all those other positive chemicals that go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It makes you feel different. Now your brain is not focused on that what you don't have, it's on what you do have.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. What else do you have to say about gratitude?
Well, I want to call out because I know that there's some of our viewers who are probably watching going, oh, yeah, I should just be grateful when it might feel like their life is imploding. And I know the first time I walked into my therapist's office and I'm talking about this, I think it was like my third appointment. You know, after you get through the first few appointments of telling your life story, then they're like, okay, we think we can do this for you. And I think I was in my first real appointment with my therapist, and they were like, I was spilling all of the things that were going wrong in my life and how unhappy I was. And she was like, have you ever tried gratitude? And I went, huh? And she goes, you should try keeping a gratitude journal. Just every day, just write a page of what's important. And I went,
Yeah.
because my life is imploding and you're telling me to be grateful. Like, I can't find anything to be grateful for. What she didn't explain at the time was the science behind it. And there is real science that shows us that when we're grateful, it isn't that you should be grateful, because I know a lot of people that are my age have heard that you should just be grateful for what you have and stop complaining, right? um, it's not that you should be grateful. It's that by looking for the positives, you're training your brain to look for it.
Yes.
And that's the powerful thing behind it is that what you look for, your brain finds. It's the bias
Yes.
concept,
Yes.
right? And so
Exactly.
it rewires your brain by biasing you to opportunities to be grateful.
Right.
So that's the first no fail habit.
Yes. First no fail habit is gratitude. Second no fail habit
Wait,
is.
do we just want to make them read the book? Or maybe tune in
Well,
tomorrow?
Okay, no, I know what you need to do. Right under here, three no fail habits, three no fail life
Yep.
habits.com. Actually, because I can't remember stuff, you could go to either one of those websites and get there because I bought them both. Because I was afraid I'd do what I just did and forget the life. But go to that and you will be able to sign up to and download the first chapter and the introduction to my book,
Yes.
which is going to spill the beans and tell you what the other two are. But we will talk about it. I have got guests for the next whole week that are going to come and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
My husband, who is my champion, I'm going to get choked up. I be talk amongst yourselves. Have you ever seen Linda from Saturday Night Live? You old people, you probably saw Linda. She was, I don't know, she was one of the guys on there, but that's what she would say. I'm so big, Clint, talk amongst yourself. And my name is Linda, and I just think that's so funny.
All right, listen, Linda. No.
Listen, have you seen him? When our new roommate, when he first moved in, our housemate, he was trying to explain to me, and he's super hyperactive. And he's like, no, listen, Linda, and he said it about 3 times. If that's not funny, you got to go on YouTube.
Yeah, just search "Listen, Linda."
Listen,
You'll find
Linda.
it.
You could search Linda, I'm verklempt, and you'll get the one from Saturday night, and you'll get the one, listen, Linda, with the little boy, and you can watch them. And laughter's another thing that really, really helps. But my husband, back to my husband, he's my champion, and he is the one who the book is kind of named after because he relapsed on drugs in 2008, ended up going to treatment again, and came home with this concept of how to use these 3Gs to transform your brain. And we've been doing it ever since. We've got a community I'd love for you to join, which is what's the name of my other book? Speak to Me, God. I'm listening. Yep. And it is amazing. So Speak to Me, God, I'm listening on Facebook. You can join us. And we do the 3Gs in the morning. Every morning. And we do our reflection of how the day went every night. So I encourage you to go there, Speak to Me, God, I'm listening on Facebook. But please go to 3nofaillifehabits.com and sign up. It'll give you reminders. I've got some great emails you're going to get every day to encourage and support you. And my other people who have written in my book, Tammy Obermeyer, Dave Brisbane, my wonderful pastor, Aaron Winowiski, and other people will be coming on to share some of their stories, their insights, and why they encourage you to buy the book. So thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing, and God bless you. I think it's wonderful you were here, and I really, really appreciate it. Please
Thanks for having me.
Go ahead and forward, and thank you, Stephanie. You're awesome too. So I got to go over here now and turn this off. God bless you all. Thank you. I'm doing the end of my other video, which I do every Saturday morning.